He was hired to review the tendering and advise on selecting the best vendor, even though he was old and retired at the time. Cooper was based out of New York and was not able to inspect the construction site. The Quebec Bridge Company was in favor of Phoenix Bridge Company to win the bid.
Cooper and the Phoenix representative are drinking tea in a bar in New York.
You know the bidding process is tomorrow, right? You know who you're gonna pick?
Yeah, don't worry. Don't quote me on this, but I think you guys have the best and cheapest design.
It should be noted that before Edward Cooper was chosen as a consultant engineer on this project, another recommendation was made to hire a third-party consultant to check all the work that he did. But Cooper rejected this idea as he felt this would put him in a subordinate position, as he had a large pride and ego as the best design engineer. Also, the fact that both Quebec Bridge Company and Edward Cooper had been in discussion with Phoenix Bridge Company, and they were the ones favored to win and ended up winning the bid, is also a conflict of interest on both parties' side.
Act 1, Scene 2. Cooper wanted this bridge to be the longest span cantilever bridge. He decided to increase the span from 1,600 feet to 1,800 feet. However, preliminary calculation was not revealed after the adjustment.
You're telling me this design is only 1,600 feet? I wonder what the longest current span is.
Sir, the longest span is currently 1,710 feet, and it's in the UK.
Only 1710, eh? If I increase this to 1,800, I would have designed the longest cantilever span in the world. Interesting. A simple increase in 200 feet. I don't think I should check any further calculations.
I think you should just check the calculation though, just to be sure.
Nah, I don't got time for that.
Obviously, Cooper was being negligent because he didn't check his calculations, and his pride got in his way instead of being professional because he wanted to be the designer of the longest cantilever bridge in the world.
Act 2, Scene 1. The construction of the bridge began in October 1900. In mid-June 1907, deflection in some beam was found by the workers. McGruer was a site investigator, reported the deflection to Cooper.
Yo, Norman, the beam seems to be deflecting a lot, don't you think?
McClure inspects the beam.
By golly, you're right. I'll inform Cooper right away.
McClure writes to Cooper.
Dear Cooper, the workers have been noticing some worrisome deflection in the beams. What should we do about this?
Huh, interesting. The deflection might have been caused by some unknown pre-existing condition.
Of course, you must be correct, sir. The work will carry on.
2 months later.
Yo, Norman, the beam seems to be deflecting a lot, don't you think?
Again? Yes. I'll let Cooper know again. Thanks, champ.
McClure writes to Cooper again.
Cooper, the workers are still worried about these deflections. Specifically, the bottom chords 8, 7, and 8L are deflecting quite a bit.
Cooper receives the message and then decides to write to Phoenix Bridge Company.
This makes no sense. How did the bend occur in both chords?
The Phoenix chief engineer, Edward Hoare, reads the message and says,
I don't know what could be causing the bend.
Act 2, Scene 2. In August, more deflections were found. However, Cooper did not believe this theory about the deflection. Instead, he came up with his own theory.
Cooper is extremely confused at this point as he doesn't know what's causing these bends and comes up with his own theory.
McClure, I know why the beams are deflecting. They must have been damaged during the construction. You know what? Go to the site, find those construction workers, and tell them to stop bending the beams.
Oh, genius.
McClure goes back to the construction site to check what's going on.
I'm sorry, sir. I looked, I swear. I don't see any evidence that the workers are mishandling the beam.
This is not possible. How could this be? My calculations are flawless.
An incident that occurred in 1905 at the construction yard when a worker had dropped a beam, A9L, in the storage yard.
Oops. That's better.
No big deal, this beam shouldn't be detrimental.
The same beam was later used in construction and it was the first beam to fail because the dead loads were poorly calculated. Once again, Cooper was being negligent because he ignored the reports that McClure was giving him and also the other engineers.
Act 3, Scene 1. McClure continued to argue that the deflection was not caused by the installation issues. Workers noticed that the deflection was serious enough that they did not report to work for 2 days.
I don't think that construction issues are the only problem here. But how can I tell the great Theodore Cooper? He knows everything. He must be right.
Yo, the speed ain't safe, man. I'm not coming to work tomorrow.
Yeah, screw this. I'm not dying here. Get out of here. I'm glad you stayed. If Cooper says it's okay, it's okay. Just keep an eye on that beam that was dropped. It's already deflected more than 2 inches.
Got it, boss.
It's clear that McClure didn't have the experience or the courage to stand up and talk to Cooper about the issues he was facing. He also didn't know how to handle the employees and the workers who were working on site. It was so bad that the workers didn't feel safe and actually didn't come to work for a few days.
Act 3, Scene 2. Despite the growing concern with deflection, construction of the work of the bridge will resume.
Port A9L is starting to deflect quite a bit. We're going to stop construction because we don't feel safe. That's a good idea. I'm driving to New York right away to meet with Cooper. Don't do anything stupid until I return.
After talking with the foreman on site, McClure drives to New York, but meanwhile at the construction site.
Yo, don't worry, man. We can't stop the work now or we'll look bad. We can't lose another working season to any more working men.
If you say so, sir.
The foreman started working on the construction again. Meanwhile, back in New York,
Cooper, I think this deflection is serious.
Are you sure? Let me see. Yeah, you're right. We should stop this construction immediately. I will wire to the Phoenixville office immediately. Add no more load to the bridge until after considering the facts. McClure will be there at 5 o'clock.
Good, good. I'll send a message to the construction site on my way to Phoenixville.
Cooper realizes that this was a mistake. His reasoning for informing the Phoenixville office instead of the actual construction site was that he felt that the information came from Phoenixville, they would take it more seriously and it would get there faster. And McClure had assured Cooper that he would wire this information to the site, but on his way to get to Phoenixville, he forgot and then sent this information to the site.
Act 4, Final Act. Cooper wired a message to Phoenixville and they arrived at 1:15 p.m. However, they did not see the message until 3 p.m. McClure arrived at Phoenixville office just after 5 p.m.
You know what? We really have to stop construction?
Yes, it must be stopped. It's not safe.
Oh no. You know what? You've had a long day. Why don't we sleep on it and make decisions in the morning?
Yeah, I guess that'll have to do.
That same day at 5:30 p.m., barely 15 minutes after McClure met with the Phoenix Bridge Company, the entire south half of the bridge, 19,000 tons of steel plummeted into the water in 15 seconds. 75 workers were killed, and the remaining 11 were injured. In conclusion, to summarize, Cooper and McClure and all parties involved were being negligent and did not check all the work that was necessary to ensure a safe design. Cooper's poor health, as well as the fact that he was away from the construction